Hello everyone, my name is Arsh Mahajan and I'm the member of Team 7. And for new venture, our idea is tire manufacturing venture. These are my team members. My team consists of Utkarsh Singh, Rakhar Goyal, Yash Govind, myself Arsh Mahajan, Raghav Pachori and Samarth. And our subject teacher, Mr. Professor Atul Kumar, is our guide for this project. Customer segmentation. Customer segmentation is very important for a venture as it helps us to understand the demands of the customer and provide various products and services as per the needs. The customer segmentation in tire industry is done as follows. First come the season tire type. The summer tires which are generally used in hot regions such as Rajasthan, South India and parts of Thar Desert. These regions experience hot weather throughout the year. Then next come the winter tires, which are generally used by customers and people living in regions such as Himachal Pradesh, Northeast India, and Jammu and Kashmir, etc. These regions experience cold winter for a very long time, and some of them even experience icy weather. Now next come the all-season tires. Now all-season tires are an intersection between the summer tire and the winter tire, which provide the benefits of the summer tire and the winter tire, and are generally used by people in regions such as Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Central India, where the people experience different weathers throughout the year, such as spring, winters, summers, etc. Hence, they require tires which can withstand all these weathers. Next comes the rim size. Now, rim size is less than 15 inches. They are generally used on bicycles, motorcycles, scooters, and entry-level hatchbacks as well, such as the Swift and the Alto. Next come the 15 to 20-inch rim sizes, which are generally used on Toyota Innova, Toyota Scorpio, Mahindra Scorpio, Mahindra XUV, and Toyota Fortuner. Then comes the rim size of 20 inches or more, which are generally used on off-roading vehicles such as Land Rover Defender, Jeep Wrangler, and even vehicles such as trucks, buses, etc. Hence, we require tires for different rim sizes as well. Next comes the vehicle type. Now, it consists of two-wheelers such as the scooters and the motorcycles, three-wheelers such as auto rickshaw and e-rickshaw, passenger cars such as hatchback, sedan, SUV, etc., light commercial vehicles such as pickup trucks, vans, and low load trucks, and heavy commercial vehicles such as heavy load trucks, buses, etc. Next comes the distribution channel. Now the first channel is the original equipment manufacturer, also called the OEM, in which we as a tire manufacturer will provide our tires to a car manufacturer who will directly put them on the cars they make in their factory and provide to customers. Next comes the aftermarket, in which the customers buy tires as per their requirements from retailers, dealers, etc. as per their requirement. It is generally done after the sale of a vehicle and as a customization option. From now, I will ask Utkarsh to take over from here.
Hello, I'm Utkarsh and I'll be presenting process flowchart. Or if you could change the slide. Yeah. The manufacturing process is started by extracting raw materials such as natural rubber, carbon black, sulfur, oil, etc. and mixing them in appropriate ratio. The mixture is then divided into four parts. First part consists of tread and sidewalls which are made by extrusion process. The rest three are body, inner liner, and tire belts, which are made by caldering process. Caldering process is a mechanical process of pressing rubber into fiber or steel to form composite sheets, which are then designed were cut into a desired length, breadth, and angle. All the individual parts are then sent to tire building machines, which put them all together along with beads, which provide sealing between tire and rims. This then goes on to spraying process, which sprays water-based silicone both inside and outside the tire. The last step is curing process, which forms the tire into desired shape under heat and pressure. After curing, the tire is taken into inspection and various tests are performed uh, to see if it is up to specification. Then it is taken to a warehouse and from the distribution sector. Now Samarth will present.
I am myself Samant. I am going to explain the operations performed in the production. In total, there are 8 operations, which is arranged in the tabular format, accounting the time taken for each operation and the type of machine required. The first operation will be mixing. The time taken is not specified. It is withdrawn as per the requirements, and internal mixers will be used for this operation. Second operation will be calendaring. The time taken will be 100 meter per minute, and rubber calendaring machines will be used for this. Third operation will be cutting. Time taken will be 22 slides per minute, and steel cord breaker cutting line machines are used for this. Fourth operation will be extruding. Time taken will be 300 to 350 kgs per hour, and high-tech extruder line machines will be used for this. And the fifth operation will be reed binding systems, and the time taken will be 152.4 meter per minute, and TDS 860 reed winding system will be used for this operation. Sixth operation will be tire build machine to assemble all the parts, and the time taken will be 200 pieces per hour. Tire building machines will be used for this operation. Seventh operation will be spraying and painting. Time required will be 15 minutes, and robotized green tire spraying cabinet will be used for this. The last operation will be curing. Time required will be 16 minutes, and hydraulic curing press will be used for this operation. Now Prakhar will take on from here.
Good evening. I'm Prakhar and I will be explaining about machineries. So here you can see the machineries, the price per unit, and the dealers from which we have bought the machines. They all are mentioned on this slide. So here we have chosen and bought the machineries that were easily accessible and transported and were within the budget that we had decided, which was 1.42 crores. To minimize the transportation cost, the suppliers are chosen in such a way that they are near to our manufacturing plant, which is located in Bhopal, Gujarat. Arsh, please move to suppliers slide. Here you can see the list of suppliers from whom we have bought our raw materials for our final product. Now I request Yash Govind to continue.
Hello, my name is Yash Govind, and I'm going to talk about the pricing strategy of our product. So, the pricing strategy that we are going to adopt for our product is cost plus pricing. So, cost plus pricing is basically a pricing method where a fixed percentage, that is the profit percentage, is added on top of the cost of the product, and then the resulting cost will be the selling price of the product. So the cost of a product includes all the indirect cost and all the direct cost that are associated with that product. So to determine the selling price of the product, so first of all we need to do a detailed cost and financial analysis of our of all the components that we are going to use. So first of all, we would like to find out the net cost of all the machinery that we are going to use. So we have various types of machinery that are used in our manufacturing, like internal mixture, rubber calendering machine, steel card breaker, high tech extruder lines, and hydraulic curing presses, etc. And many of them have been mentioned before. So the net machinery and total cost are calculated and they come out to be around 1.42 crores. Similarly, we have also calculated the total plant building cost, that is around rupees 2 crores, and land cost, that is the total cost of the land on which our manufacturing plant will be built, that is around rupees 7.15 crores. And similarly, we have also added the transportation cost. And other operational overhead costs include the wages of the workers, like the warehouse workers, loading unloading staff that are meant for the odd jobs, doctors, security personnel, quality control workers, supervisors, managers, etc. And electricity cost and machine regulations and staff supply cost are also added to this operational overload, and it comes out around 41 lakhs and 50,000. Now we have also done the production analysis. So basically here we are making two products. One is the two-wheeler tire and another is the car tire. So here we have considered a scenario where we are considering an 8-hour shift two times a day, which is equivalent to 16 hours per day. So the total production capacity of our plant will be, for a two-wheeler tire, will be 200 units per hour. And when calculating it on a monthly basis, it comes around to be around 83,200 units. So since there will be some defects in our process, so considering 10% defects, actual production per month will be 74,880 units. So now adding the profit percentage on it, that is 10%, we get the selling cost per two vehicle tire equal to rupees 2,500. Similarly, we will compute all the cost for a car tire, that is considering 10% defect, actual production per month for a car tire will be 32,400 units. And similarly, by adding a 10% profit margin, selling price per car tire comes out to be rupees 5,400. So since we know that since so many costs have been associated with the making of our product, so we are for arranging so much money, we need to take a loan from the bank. So to determine the time after which we'll be able to repay back our loans, we have also done a break even analysis. And after conducting that break even analysis, we have come up with the conclusion that after 1 year and 11 months, we'll be able to repay back our loans to the bank. And this is how cost plus pricing method is very beneficial for us, as it helps us to cover all the cost, and it also gives a consistent rate of return. Now I would like Raghav to take over from here.
Yes, so hello, my name is Raghav. The method for distribution of our product we will be using will be a hybrid method. So that will be from factory to regional distribution channels to carrying and forwarding agents. The agents, just a second. The tires manufactured from the factory will be first sent to RDCs. Each state will have its own RDC, which will help in providing the products to retailers, dealers, factories in that region, and help in reducing the cost and transportation hassle. They are intermediary channels which will cover dealing in a state or a region. Carrying and forwarding agents refers to the dealers, retailers, traders, manufacturers, etc., who will collect the tires from RDCs and provide the final product to the customers. Automobile manufacturers will put the product directly to their vehicles and sell to customers, while retailers, traders, dealers will deal the products directly to the customer at a lower price. Now I would like Prakhar to give info about the agents who will deliver the products to the customers.
So the agents who are delivering our product to the customers are divided into categories. Number one is OEM, original equipment manufacturer, in which automobile manufacturers is the from which one manufacturer is generally providing 2 to 3 brand only through their vehicles, which also uh, constitutes less competition. At number two, we have aftermarket. In aftermarket, we have traders, retailers, and dealers, and they are providing multiple brands, and hence there is more competition. Thank you.